The first scene sets the tone and atmosphere of the story. Dark, grim, and vast. It's not about action yet. It's about the feeling of living in the universe of Warhammer 40K. The narrator's voice introduces the grim darkness of the far future, describing humanity as a fragile, suffering race clinging to survival under constant war. This immediately pulls the viewer into the hopeless and terrifying scale of the 41st millennium, where war never ends. And human life is expendable. The focus then shifts to the Space Marines, described as the Emperor's Angels of Death. This builds awe and reverence. They are not ordinary soldiers, but living demigods, feared and worshipped across the galaxy. The narrator explains that before these warriors wear their sacred armor or carry the Emperor's will, they must first endure the horror of recruitment, hinting that this process is not glorious, but brutal and dehumanizing. The purpose of this opening is to make the audience feel respect and fear for what's coming. It paints the recruitment not as an honor, but as a grim transformation, setting the emotional tone for the rest of the story. After the dark introduction of the galaxy and the legend of the Space Marines, the story now zooms in from the vastness of the Imperium to a single world where recruitment begins. We see life on a typical Imperial planet. It might be a hive world, choked in smoke and metal, where billions of citizens live in endless labor. Or perhaps a feral world, where tribes fight daily for survival with stone blades and blood. Wherever it is, life is harsh, unforgiving, and short. Then, the peace of misery is shattered. The sky trembles. Thunder rolls through the heavens. Massive dropships descend through the clouds, their engines roaring like judgment itself. The people fall to their knees in fear and awe. They know who comes. The Adeptus Astartes, the Angels of Death, have arrived. These towering figures in ceramite armor step from their transports, their visors glowing with inhuman light. They do not speak much. Their presence alone is command. The recruitment begins immediately. Hundreds, sometimes thousands, of young boys are gathered. Some are volunteers, pushed forward by desperate parents dreaming of a better life for their sons. Others are seized from the crowd, chosen for their strength, reflexes, or simple defiance. They are lined up and tested. Endurance, combat skill, obedience, fear. Those who fail are cast aside. Those who resist are silenced. To the onlookers, this might seem like salvation, the chance for glory among the Emperor's chosen. But to the boys, it is terror. They do not know that most of them will die before ever touching a bolter. As the Thunderhawks rise once more, only a handful of children remain aboard, frightened, silent, and unaware that they are leaving their old lives behind forever. The people below watch them vanish into the clouds, proud, grieving, and unaware that they will never see their sons again. The dropships roar through the void, carrying the chosen few toward a world they cannot imagine, the fortress monastery of the chapter. This is not a place of comfort or welcome. It is a citadel built on stone and faith, a temple of war carved into the bones of a dead world. When the dropships land, the children are marched into vast, echoing halls. The air smells of oil, metal, and incense. Gigantic statues of the emperor and fallen heroes loom above them, watching in eternal silence. Every step they take feels smaller, every breath heavier, as they realize how insignificant they truly are. They are stripped of everything. Their names, their clothes, their past lives, gone. They are given numbers, not identities. From now on, they are property of the chapter. The training begins immediately. There is no rest, no kindness. Drill sergeants, towering even without their armor, bark orders like machine guns. Every mistake is punished. Every weakness is exploited. They are beaten, broken, and reshaped through discipline and pain. The young recruits fight each other, run until their legs give out, and carry weights meant for grown men in power armor. Some collapse from exhaustion. Some die from the strain. Their bodies are dragged away without ceremony, leaving only silence where they once stood. Those who endure are noticed, not with praise, but with another test, harder and crueler than the last. For the Space Marines are not seeking warriors. They are seeking perfection, weapons of flesh and faith. The children who survive begin to change. They stop speaking of home. They stop remembering who they were. Their fear begins to die, replaced by something colder, something sharper. Discipline. In the heart of the fortress, the apothecaries prepare. The recruits are about to face the next step, the one that will destroy their humanity forever. The implantation of the gene seed. For the Space Marines are not seeking warriors. They are seeking perfection, weapons of flesh and faith. The children who survive begin to change. They stop speaking of home. They stop remembering who they were. Their fear begins to die, replaced by something colder, something deadly. For the Space Marines are not seeking warriors. They are seeking perfection, weapons of flesh and faith. The children who survive begin to change. They stop speaking of home. They stop remembering who they were. Their fear begins to die, replaced by something colder, something sharper. Discipline. In the heart of the fortress, the apothecaries prepare. The recruits are about to face the next step, the one that will destroy their humanity forever. The implantation of the gene seed. For the Space Marines are not seeking warriors. They are seeking perfection, weapons of flesh and faith. The children who survive begin to change. They stop speaking of home. They stop remembering who they were. Their fear begins to die, replaced by something colder, something sharper. Discipline. In the heart of a fortress, the apothecaries prepare. The recruits are about to face the next step, the one that will destroy their humanity forever. The implantation of the gene seed. The apothecaries, silent, masked, emotionless, move like priests preparing a sacrifice. And in truth, that is exactly what this is. The implantation begins. One by one, sacred organs are grafted into their bodies, each one carrying the gene seed of the Primarch, the divine essence of the chapter's bloodline, the secondary heart, the osmodula, the biscopia, the hemastamen. Each organ changes them further. Their bones grow thicker. Their muscles expand. Their blood becomes acid, capable of dissolving toxins and burning through flesh. Their senses sharpen beyond anything human. The pain is unimaginable. Some recruits die screaming on the tables. Others go mad, their minds unable to bear the agony. A few who endure emerge as something else, twisted, altered, monstrous. But the process isn't over. There are still implants to come, still tests to survive. Weeks turn into months. They are fed strange nutrients to fuel their mutation. Their skin thickens, their eyes darken. Even their dreams change, haunted by visions of war, fire, and the Emperor's light. Between surgeries, they are drilled endlessly. Faith is burned into their minds. Obedience is carved into their souls. They are taught that doubt is heresy, fear is weakness, and mercy is sin. And when the final and most sacred implant, the black carapace, is fused into their flesh, the transformation is complete. Now they can wear the power armor, link their very nerves to the machine that will serve as both weapon and tomb. The boys who once trembled in fear are gone. What remains are towering figures of muscle and fury, their humanity stripped away, their souls bound in loyalty. They have Beck. And yet, for a brief moment, as the sky burns above him, he wonders, was this what the Emperor wanted? Was humanity meant to be saved by monsters like him? The thought flickers for only a second before training drowns it out. Doubt is heresy. Emotion is weakness. He crushes it, as he has done 1,000 times before. A new signal comes through the Vox. Another war, another crusade, another generation to die. Without hesitation, he turns toward the horizon, his armor groaning, his footsteps echoing through the ashes. There is no rest for him, no peace, no end. Because this is what it means to be a space marine, to fight without question, to serve without end, to die and be forgotten, so that mankind may live one more day. In the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war, and they are its eternal soldiers. Thanks for watching my video. Fear no evil, for you are his wrath made manifest. The hatches burst open. Gunfire and chaos consume the air. The recruits charge forward, bolters roaring, purity seals fluttering in the storm. Each must survive. Each must prove his worth in blood. They fight not for victory, but for recognition, for the right to stand beside their brothers as equals. Some die before firing a single shot. Others falter, crushed by fear or hesitation. But a few embrace the madness of war. Their new bodies, moving with terrifying precision. They kill without hesitation. They feel no pity. They are the Emperor's will given form. When the battle ends, the dead are burned. The survivors kneel in silence before their masters once more. Those who have earned their place are blessed in sacred oils and prayers. They are given their colors, the sigil of the chapter, emblazoned upon their armor. From this moment onward, they are no longer recruits. They are battle brothers of the Adeptus Astartes. They have shed their humanity, their names, their pasts. Only duty remains. They will never age as men do. They will never rest. They will fight until death claims them. And even then, their memory will be used to inspire more to follow. For this is the destiny of every space marine, to live and die as a weapon of the Emperor, forged in pain, perfected in battle, and remembered in war eternal. The battle is over. The smoke clears. The survivors stand among the ruins, silent and unmoving. They are Space Marines now, but the truth of what that means is only beginning to sink in. In the aftermath of their first campaign, they are returned to the fortress monastery. But it no longer feels like the same place. The halls that once loomed above them now seem familiar, almost sacred. They walk as giants where they once crawled as children. Yet, there is something else, an emptiness they cannot name. The chaplains gather them in the reclusium, where candles flicker before statues of the Emperor and the Primarch. The air is thick with incense, and the echo of ancient chants. The chaplain speaks of duty, of faith, of sacrifice. Words that once inspired awe now carry a heavier weight. He reminds them, "You are no longer sons of mankind. You are sons of the Emperor. His will is your command. His enemies are your purpose. You will know no peace, no rest, no joy, only war." The Marines bow their heads, accepting this truth. There is no hesitation. They have been conditioned to obey, to believe, to serve. But deep within, fragments of their old selves stir. Memories of family, of laughter, of sunlight. Faint echoes that the indoctrination could not completely erase. They feel them like ghosts, whispering from a life long buried. And they realize the final truth. Their humanity was not destroyed. It was sacrificed. Now begins their eternal vigil. They are assigned to companies, each led by veterans whose faces are hidden behind centuries of scars and armor. They are given new names, designations that will be recorded in the chapter's sacred archives. To the Imperium, they are heroes. To themselves, they are instruments of the Emperor's unending war. As the fortress doors open once more, and the thunder of drop pods rises in the distance, they feel no fear, only purpose, only the cold certainty that their lives belong not to themselves, but to a cause greater than comprehension. They march to war again and again across endless stars, each battle erasing a little more of the person they once were, until only the weapon remains. For this is the fate of every Space Marine, to live without rest, to kill without doubt, and to die without remembrance. In the galaxy that knows only war, they are the Emperor's vengeance.